Alright, well, welcome back. It's another day. We're heading back out to do some more soybeans. This should be the last day. We just got one field left to do. It's not a very big one. So, without any breakdowns or anything like that, we should be able to get her all done today. So, we're going to head to the field and we'll bring you back when we get there. I lost my radio and I don't know why. worst thing you have with a combine, and that's plugging it. I've had this combine, this is the 3rd season, and I've never plugged it, but today's the day. Soybeans are just green stems. I was going slow, but it didn't matter. And I can't even get the reverse to spin it backwards, so she's plugged tight. Like I said, might get done today. No breakdowns or problems. And here's our first. We'll get back to you. All right, well, we're back here. It's the next day. Sorry I didn't film anything. Just there was frustration, and I was just trying to get the issue resolved, and I just didn't even think about getting a camera. So my apologies. I wish I would have filmed it, but I just got too wrapped up with what the issue was. But you know, I just mentioned that I plugged the machine. We were able to get it unplugged, but it was not an easy task. Basically, how I got it, I opened the concaves wide open. That's the first thing I did, and there is a reverse on this. I tried to reverse. It didn't want to do anything, so it seemed, you know, that things were very tight. So we I'll try to show you here, but I can't really see over here. I'll walk around. There's panels to get into where the rotor's at. I don't know how well you're going to see as dark as it is now, but there's panels here and here. We took those panels out and looked in there, and yes, there was material in there, but it was not tight. It was not like wrapped up all around the rotor. It wasn't like, you know, where we thought we're going to have to cut stuff and rip and tear, and it felt pretty loose in there. I'm not sure what, and I don't think I had a rock in there. But long story short, the only way we were able to get it unplugged was we just kind of rocked it back and forth. I would reverse it. It would reverse. It would go back maybe 10 inches. And I could go forward 10 and back 10. And it just kind of kept working itself loose. You know, you could tell the material was moving, but finally we were able to get it broke free. I'm sure that's probably not the proper way to do it. In fact, I know that's probably not the way to do it. Again, you probably can't see, but right there is the clutch that engages the machine, and with us rocking it back and forth, that clutch got hot, and we actually started to see a few sparks, so we just shut her down and stopped right there and let her cool off. And after it cooled down, we were able to, the machine started right up, and it got all the material out. But it was not an easy task. That's the first time I've ever plugged this machine, and I hope it's the last. But I don't know what more different I could have done. I was creeping along. It wasn't like I was going too fast. I was trying to let it sift in as slow as possible, but the material was just way too green. So you know, as they say in the business world, I just made an executive decision that I'm not going to, you know, fight through this in this field and risk putting a lot more wear and tear on the machine and plugging it again and, you know, possibly causing more damage. So I just said, we're just going to let the beans go. It's the last field. Yeah, it would be great to be done and moving on, but I wasn't going to risk it, so I'm going to let her go for several days here. We did, you know, the night or two before we started there, got a frost, a couple frosts, I should say. You know, they're about in a 2-night span, so hopefully that frost will start to take that green material out and allow them beans to get where they're more able to harvest. What the biggest issue was is the beans were so tall, they kind of laid on over. They kind of laid it over and kind of matted a little bit. So the beans underneath were not getting any air, and they're not getting the sunlight, and they just weren't drying down like the rest were. And unfortunately, there were so many patches of it that, you know, it's not like it was one little patch I could go around. It was throughout the whole field, so it just wasn't worth trying to get part of it and leave part of it. So I just hope that you know, Mother Nature will dry it down there. Hopefully the frost will take care of them. And, you know, we got some weather coming in now. We had a little bit of rain and some cloudy days here for the next 2-3 days, and actually pretty chilly. Highs only in the 50. So I doubt if anything's gonna happen then, but maybe once that goes away, because towards the end of the week they're supposed to be up close to 7 again. Maybe in about 3 or 4 days I could get back at it and get that field off. You know, in the meantime, I checked the corn, thinking, well, you know, if I got to switch over to corn for a few days, we'll switch to corn. But I ran a sample into the mill and it tested 21, and that's before you run it through the combine. And for those of you that shell corn, you know, when you hand shell it versus going through the combine, there's always a difference. It's usually a point or two wetter through the combine. So that would probably put it about 22-23%, which isn't horrible. But when you got grain prices at $3.50, and then of course, you know, the mills have upped their drying charges due to their expenses, and now at 20% corn, it's going to cost 25 cents to dry it. So now you're down to 3 1/4, and if you take it off at 22-23%, you're going to get 35-40 cents off for drying. So now you're darn near down to $3. It just, you can't survive at that. So unfortunately, I gotta let Mother Nature do her course and let her dry that corn down a little bit more. Hopefully by the time I get the beans off, you know, she'll be down under that 20%, and we can just go at it. And hopefully Mother Nature holds out and we don't get a ton of rain and make the weather, or excuse me, make the ground conditions bad. But that's the gamble. That's all part of farming, so ain't nothing I can do about it. So I just wanted to give a brief recap of what happened there on the combine. Like I said, sorry I didn't film any of it. I just, in the heat of the moment, was wanting to get it unplugged, and I just didn't think about turning the camera on. So, but she's unplugged. We got her back here in the shed. We're gonna, like I said, we're just gonna wait a few days and see what happens. So that's gonna wrap that up for right now, and I'll bring you back on that whenever I able to get back in the field. All right, well, we're out here to check this last field of beans to see if it's ready to go. A lot of the green is gone, but we've had some rain now, so not sure if they've dried back out yet or not. Popping a little bit, but some of these are You can see in there laying over. Those are the ones that are worrying. The air and the sun can't get down in there. They're laying down. Yeah, I don't know, they're borderline. Some are popping and some are a little gummy. I don't know, I'll have to make a decision here and I'll bring you back whenever we start combining, whether it's today or tomorrow. Alright, well, it's a few days later and we had some rain, some more frost, so hopefully these beans are ready to go. I think the greenness is out of them now, but we're going to try it. Hopefully the moisture's dry enough to go. Some pop in my mouth and some don't, so we're going to find out. Says 13.7. 2024. The thing we need to do now is just unload, clean everything off. So I think we'll let you go with that. Thanks for watching.